Big shout out to everyone watching this Jrod on Point. Thank you for being here. Very so much appreciated. How everyone doing today? Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you so much. Popping up to have a conversation with you. I'm the host, Jrod on Point. Thank you so much for being here. Very appreciated. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Today we're talking about the Idaho for Bryan Kohberger case. Why Judge HIPPLER haven't replied back? That's today's topic. We're going to be talking about it today for a little bit. I just wanted to make sure that I come through, make myself available to have those great conversations with the community. Thank you so much for reaching out in the comments, and thank you so much for reaching out in the emails. Very appreciated. It's something to consider that after the looks, the Judge HIPPLER have given us through his performance in court, overseeing the Idaho for Bryan Kohberger case, is in my conclusion, or at least my preliminary assessment, the Judge HIPPLER is paying attention to what is being talked about in the YouTube true crime community. We had to admit there are sources, it seems to be right on point. And here's why. I don't ever doubt my sources. I do filter, I do filter, I do assess the information. I audit everything that it comes through myself. Way before I come here and tell you anything. I think that by now, y'all know that I'm not one of those content creators that is gonna come here for clout and say things that are not gonna come back full circle when it's been proven for quite a few years that in Jrod on Point channel, we don't care about clout. We care about the information. It must be precise, or it must be close to be precise. Before I continue, I want to make sure that I advise you to please click like, subscribe, and share the content. You are listening to Jrod on Point. I'm your host for tonight, Jrod on Point. Very gracious and very favored to be here today. Big shout out to Team YouTube. Big shout out to Amy Conway. Thank you so much to be here. Very appreciated. Boss lady in the chat. Boss lady in the chat, please, everybody be nice. For all those in the back that only like to fall back and watch the content, I appreciate you. Listen, you don't have to be on the chat. You don't have to be on the chat. I see those small itty bitty numbers that we get, and listen, that's itty bitty numbers mean a lot to me, because at least we know that when we go live, a percentage, very small percentage of the community like to come here and have conversation. They've not come here to listen to what Jrod on Point had to say, and for that and more, thank you so much. I appreciate you for being here listening to Jrod on Point. Amy Conway advised and suggests to please make sure to hit like, subscribe, and share the content. put a little DNA on that like button. Listen, we promise you that we will not utilize IGG techniques against you in the court of law. Big shout out. It hit different. So for sure, something that we could take upon consideration is Judge HIPPLER facade, because at this point I have to say it's a facade. We do understand what's in the transcript. We understand what's in the merits of this case. We totally 100% understand the public information. We seen it all. We see both sides. We got the content. So it's my assessment. It's just a preliminary assessment right now. The Judge HIPPLER has presented a facade of him being some type of judge, boneheaded in my opinion, stubborn, thinks that knows it all, or at least makes it look like to the people that he knows it all, the all-seeing eye. But then for you to be that guy, you have to be fully aware and informed of what you're dealing with and what's the task in hand. In this case, the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case and all records and merits in court. It don't matter if certain motions did not got granted at Layton County through Judge, but we all know that is there the possibility the judge also was compromised, playing for the wrong team. Actually, he shouldn't be playing at all, in my opinion. Big shout out to Army for Jesus. She over here, you know what I'm saying, making noise in the Idaho 4 Bryan Kohberger case. Go and take a pic, take a look to her channel. You know what I'm saying? She's very interesting, very funny, very entertaining content creator in the YouTube true crime niche. Coming from the Kiely Rodni case. Big shout outs to all those content creators that started it, the true crime journey with the Kiely Rodni case. RIP Kiely Rodni. Justice for Kiely Rodni. Big shout out. We had to give her that little shout out. She's over here in the Idaho 4, you know what I'm saying? Bringing her commentary. She's been nice to us in the past. So, you know, we got to give some shout outs when people are nice to us. You know what I mean? You being nice, that gets you a shout out. You know what I'm saying? That's all what I have to say. Big shout out to you all of all traits on screen. But it don't matter what is being denied in Layton County, because the judge overseeing the case as we speak, in this case, Judge HIPPLER, should be looking into what was the reasons of why those motions were denied, and also look into what's the record right now, where we stand right now, why it was denied in the past, but then what's the information that we have on hand right now. And I know that judges don't want to step on other judges' feet, but in this case, judge is already retired. Is no reason at all whatsoever for Judge HIPPLER to not knock off the table the motions the judge has denied or has granted. In my opinion, if Judge HIPPLER know what he talked about. And again, we're talking about he's giving you the facade that he knows the law, he knows the book of law. Listen, Judge HIPPLER saying this is quote, by the time you put your motion in, I already know how I'm going to reply back. I already know. Soon as you put your motion in, I already know 9 times out of 10 what I'm going to reply back to you right away. No hesitation. Or what we call it in the street, no hesi at all whatsoever. Facts. That's what he said. So in this case, in this response that we've been waiting for, big shout out to Harsh Reality. He said over there in his channel that, you know, he's allowed to have his opinion. Big shout out to him. We appreciate his work. We definitely respect Harsh Reality over here and everything that he does. But he said that is his opinion, his take, which he's on his right to have those takes. Big shout out. That he believed that everything is going to move along as the judge said. But here's the thing. It don't matter what the judge been saying out of his mouth for the past whatever since he's been in this case. We know for a fact that everything the judge is being saying out of his mouth is go against and opposite of the reality of what's in the merits and the record in court, paperwork wise, facts and truth. Facts and truth. What is certified, what is being pushed in court that is certified to be there for a fact. Because if it wasn't a fact, we wouldn't be even talking about it, right? If it wasn't a fact, we wouldn't even be talking about it, right? But we know for sure and for a fact that everything the judge has said out of his mouth goes against the facts and merits on record. Proof of that and proof of what I'm saying is that all the merits on record to have a frank hearing were there available. If this was any other judge from district court, we experience not bias, not bias, not compromise, a judge that actually know what he's talking about. He would have granted a frank hearing off the rip right away. Why? Because if Kohberger did it before we're gonna spend tax money, payer money, taxpayer money, making money on this scam, on this fraud of the case, we want to make sure that we're gonna put money that don't belong to us. We're gonna put money of the people on this case that is gonna last long for a long time. Way before we do that, due to the for a fact, we see holes in this case. We see discrepancies. We see things on record that people could get indicted and locked up for it right away. A frank hearing, it needed to occur, and it didn't. This came through the power of Judge HIPPLER. So as we speak, it don't matter what the judge said. The judge know in the back of his head that with the all information that is gagged at this day today, the only reason why he don't take the right decisions that he knows that he needs to take, you know why he don't take those decisions? Because he's gagged. So he's not going to get no heat. He's not going to get no repercussions. He's not going to be talked about in a certain manner because no one knows yet how fucked up this case is and how fucked up has been the decisions that Judge and Judge HIPPLER has taken in this case, which both judges are the only sole people that keep Kohberger locked up at this day today. It's not the prosecution. It's the judges. because they misinterpreting the law on benefit of the state team and the public opinion that they already had Kohberger guilty of this case without even seeing a day in court, at least in trial. This is what's going on. In my opinion, Judge HIPPLER has taken all those decisions that he had taken, the 9 motions and all this clown shit that he's doing in court, because this case is gag order. If this case was not gag order, it's going to be people on the streets raging on why the legal system in the United States of America has a man locked up for these many years with no proof, with not substantial, real evidence that we could say, yeah, these men deserve to be there this far. Because everything that is presented, that is being keeping this man locked up at this day to day, it has flaws. Basic common sense flaws. And I had to put a tone to that. Flaws. Because it's terrible and it's scary to see how an innocent man that don't have nothing to do with what's going on in this crime, that did not have nothing to do with what's going on in this crime. It wasn't not even around. It was miles away. At the time, they say that he committed this crime on the allegations, on the PCA. At this day today, we could say that for the information that we have available, Bryan Kohberger was not even in Moscow, Idaho, at the time of death of this crime that Idaho fought. At this day today, what is out there, what is being presented to the eye of the public, that we could go there and see. Who cares what they say? It's all about where we could go and find out for ourselves. And find out for ourselves that the information provided by the state is to the 100% contradicted by the defense team with powerful arguments. The heck with the argument. The evidence behind what the argument is all about is more powerful than the argument itself, because it's evidence, it's truth to word. I repeat, the only reason why Judge HIPPLER and Judge took the decisions that they took is because they are not gonna get no type of heat and no type of backlash at the moment that they take those decisions, because the public will not know how awful and how misrepresented the law is at the moment that they take those decisions. They care about the now. They don't care about later. They care about now. They care about, I'm gonna do this favor for you now. You get me reelected. I'm gonna do this one favor for you now. You get me reelected as a judge. You give me the funds and donations that I need to get reelected as a judge. And I don't care the consequences after that. But for the time being, what I got in hand right now as a judge is making sure that the party that put me and gave me this job, which is the University of Idaho Greek Life, is satisfied and content with everything and anything that I do here in court, because they put me in place to deliver this case how they want it to be delivered through the Superior Court. This is how bad this shit is, ladies and gentlemen. The Superior Court picked and choose Judge HIPPLER to do this dirty job. the Superior Court. Big shout out to Kane. And do you want to know how many members of the Superior Court judges from the state of Idaho come straight out of the University of Idaho, Greek life and fraternities and sororities? I'll give you that. I'll give you that for you to fetch. I give you that for you as a sleuther. I give you that as a YouTube true crime creator. I give you that as a true crime aficionado. Big shout out to Kane Be Dispersed. Big shout out, brother. I'm gonna give you that for you to do some homework and look into the judges and Superior Court and the judges on Ada County and the judges of Layton County. And now I want you to tell me if those judges do not come from the University of Idaho and the Greek life from the University of Idaho. So how can this case ever get justice in Idaho when everyone is compromised? When the killers, it seems like they come from the same Greek life that they come from. So it seems like members are protecting members because those members are in places of power in the legal justice system in Idaho. And they have positions, they have particular special powerful positions in the Department of Justice in Idaho. And they all come from the University of Idaho. Why I'm telling you this? Because it's good to know that whoever comes to this channel, they'll know what I'm talking about. They'll go here and make some homework. They will do a research and they're going to be like, damn, if Kohberger ever gets found out guilty for this case, now we know why. Because Kohberger would have never got no justice in Idaho. It was premeditated guilt from the top. And they have the loopholes, the legal sneakiness, and the people, the judges, the prosecutors, and everyone involved to cook these men pushing the same fucking way. And that deer is a fact. Because if you do your homework, every single person, judges, staff, the majority of everyone investigating this case, prosecuting this case, ruling in court about this case, they are all linked to the killers through the Greek life and the University of Idaho and the fraternities. They all link to, goes back to them. They all go back to Scott Green and the University of Idaho. When people are going to open their eyes and ears to hear and see, the people in places of power. Listen, with great power comes great responsibility. Not everyone that he has great power deserves that power. Not everyone with great power knows how to handle that power or be fair to others with that power. No one with that power is going to be fair to no one when they are part of a group. They are part of an entity. Of an enterprise. They form disciples like the Greek life with the promise of being in a position of power, either in the government or private corporations. It's like telling people we could have a criminal RICO. We could have a criminal RICO in enterprises like this. They utilize the educational system to form disciples for the universities, fraternities, and sororities They end up being occultists with secrecy and loyalty to them, not to the flag, not to the United States of America. Their loyalty and secrecy is with them. They're not loyal to the United States of America. They loyal to themselves. So here we have a university using the funds of the government and the facade of recruiting young students that are looking for a higher degree of knowledge, and now they end up getting cock blocked by the fraternities. That now, if you don't belong to, if you're not part of our movement, you will never, you, in other words, if you are not part of the fraternities and sororities in that university, it don't matter what degree, it don't matter if you have a PhD, it don't matter how high your grades are, you are never going to be placed in a place of power. Why? Because you are not listening or have no loyalty to us. And we only need the people that actually going to have loyalty to us, the vandals. You know how many stories we have heard of students that just because they were not part of a fraternity or sorority, after they finish up the grades and spend all that money in college, they were never placed just because they were not part of fraternities and sororities. That's a motherfucking scam. And that's bullying young adults looking for a future into submission to commit crime. In my opinion, that's a federal RICO for the University of Idaho and many other universities that utilize fraternities and sororities to submit students to do what they want them to do, or if not else. That's dangerous, and that's not fair, and that's criminal. And the FBI should look into that. And the FBI should look into that. On how everything is built from the top. It's a pyramid scheme. And it's illegal. Fraternity sororities are illegal. Their purposes are illegal, are not fair to the whole community. That's discrimination, ladies and gentlemen. That's discrimination. And that's illegal. Because if you don't roll with us, the fraternities and sororities, you will not ever, never be placed in a place of power with the government or a private corporation. It don't matter your talents. It don't matter your PhD. It don't matter how much money you spend with that university. You're not going to be placed because you are not part of the Greek life. That's criminal. That's a scam. People could go to jail for years for that. And we hear talking about it. You don't hear none of these things, no other channels. Guess why? Because the majority of these big true crime channels, they are all linked back to some kind of fraternity, sorority, or family members of members of members. So of course they're not going to make it look bad. They don't dare to talk about it. That's taboo. But guess what? We have the freedom to have our opinion due to the public information that is available out there. It's our right to have our opinion, our assessment, and share our thoughts of what's out there. And what's out there does not look good for no one in the University of Idaho, the Vandals. It looks right now pretty shaky. It looks right now that Judge, and Judge HIPPLER both were working in cahoot with the state. And if you ask me, in my opinion, it's facts in paperwork and documents in court. They'll prove what I'm saying. And the whole point of this live stream was to let y'all know that my sources are correct. The reasons why Judge HIPPLER haven't replied back is because the trial is not going to happen. And if I'm wrong, I'm going to come here and say, hey, my sources, yeah, my sources for the first time ever, they wrong. But not until I can't say that. Because my sources not just told me that in August 11 is not going to be a trial, but also they told me that due to because Jrod on point said in YouTube that the trial was not happening, and I put it out before anyone, they think the information in court is compromised. I don't know. I don't know if the information in court is compromised. I'm doing my investigative journalism. And these people that does investigative journalism with me. And I do got sources in Idaho. I don't need to say where, but I do. Just so y'all know. From the very beginning of this case. So long story short, I'm gonna leave you with this thought. Is Jrod on point right? Is Jrod on point sources are right? Is actually Jrod on point, as he always said since 2022? Was Jrod on point right of him being the source, of him being him? That a lot of people should have listened to Jrod on point about this case and the Kiely Rodni case and many other cases. I don't know. You tell me. Comment down below. Tell me if Jrod on point was right, or let's say if Jrod on point sources were right when they told me that they already decided that it's not going to be no trial in August 11. And the reason why they have not come out yet to say so is because I already put it out there. And now they're trying to figure it out how Jrod on point got to know that there's no trial in August 11. That's what they try to figure it out. But by law, in journalism, I don't have to tell you my sources. So I'm legally protected. You could do what you do. I'm still legally protected. So how did I got to know that August 11 was not going? It's for you to find out. It's for me to share with you and let you know what's going on. And to prove a point, not just to you, but to the whole true crime community, the Jrod on point is him. That's it. Again, prove me wrong. Judge HIPPLER, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong that the trial is going to happen in August 11 when you already been decided. You already decided way before Monday hit. You already decided way before this past Monday that it was no trial. Big shout out to everyone watching. Believe in yourself because I believe in you. If I did it, you could do it too. I ain't nothing special. I believe that you're going to take the best decisions of your life for yourself and for everyone around you. Love yourself. Take care of yourself so you'll be able to love and take care of others. It's the host of the most thing to the tango, Gene to the Django. Jrod on point. Get back at me. You know how we do it. I'm out.